All right. So next up, might as well keep Steve on there. We're going to do the Steve Sherrill half hour of open forum. I think he has a few things in mind, a few fellow modelers lined up. So I'll just turn over to you, Steve. Welcome back to the show as a presenter. You're going to unmute yourself. Unmute. There you go.
Thank you very much again. We're going to do what's on your workbench tonight. We did this a couple weeks ago when you guys were at the narrow gauge convention, and we had a great time doing it. We have a lot of our listeners and participants doing things which we don't always hear about. So tonight, I'm going to ask you if you've got something on your workbench that you want to share. Now's the time to do it. It doesn't have to be finished. It could be an idea. It can be something that's partially done. I've done a couple of things myself. Carroll Creek was on a couple of weeks ago, and they showed something new, a GN15, and that's G scale on operating on HO track. So they sent me a few items, and if you show me a picture up there, Greg is my photo man tonight.
Okay, let me pull it up, Steve, and you tell me now. It's starting with one of your. Oh, wait a minute. Do you want me to start it with one of your videos or one of the pictures?
Yeah, start it with the video.
Okay.
What you're going to see is a video on the Lazy Susan layout that I made a couple of years ago. It rotates around, and it's got 10-inch radius. So what this demonstrates is GN15 can operate on a small radius, and you can have a small layout. Now, obviously, the buildings there are still O scale. So this actually went around the first time, believe it or not. I had no clearance problems at all. And so that is a diesel from Carroll Creek, powered by a trolley car mechanism from Bachman. And that's a 9-foot hopper car. And I put sound in it. It hasn't been painted or anything yet. I'm just having a good time running it. It's got Lincoln pin couplers. Again, that's on a 10-inch radius curve. It has no problem at all. Okay, let's look at the next one. Now, here's what they sent me. This is what's called a bulkhead car. Now, this has got, obviously it's 3D printed, and you take the two parts, you place them on top of each other, with the ends on the top of the black one. And then for the wheels, and they used a passenger truck. They glued it under it, and they show us the next one. So what I wanted to do was to improve that a little bit. It looked a little thick to me with two levels glued together. And I wanted to use some wood for the bed of the area. So what I did was I went and put the next one on. As you can see here, I had, and this is another part from Carroll Creek that was a misprint. Instead of being 35 millimeters, it was 32. So they sent it to me, it wouldn't fit anything, and I kept it. And I actually had 5 of these. And so I just threw it in a pile, and I said, when I got this bulkhead car, I said, well, maybe I can use it somewhere. And I also put for the wood, I got something from Hobby Lobby, the 1/16 by 1/4 by 24. And so if your next picture, I put this on the bandsaw. Okay, so I got a 9-inch bandsaw, and I cut the ends off carefully. And I always keep any part that I cut off, I keep. You never know when you're going to need something like this base here again. So I ended up with 5 of those. So next one, Greg, you can see now the bandsaw, of course, is going to leave rough edges like this. Obviously, you're going to have to do something with those, sand them. They almost take your hand and just flip them back and forth, and most of it comes right off. I put it on sandpaper to smooth it out. But really, you don't get to see those anyway, because when I put the wood on it, it covers that area. And the wood happens to be the same thickness as the end pieces. As you can see, the bed here was actually thinner. I thought that everything should be the same. So go ahead on with the next one. Now, I do this for a lot of distressing of 3D plastic. You know, there's no other way you can do this that I don't believe. And so I put that on there, that wheel. And you have to be careful on that, because it will fly off of there and catch your hand sometimes, or finger. Didn't mind, because I've already done that before, so I know how to avoid that now. But and of course, it's got a variable speed, so you don't have to just turn it on high, medium, or low. You can vary the speed on it. Go to the next one. Now you can see the bottom here. This is the base. Now, this wasn't the first one I did. This was the second or third one. So I knew that where you put the coupler pockets on, or the Lincoln pen pocket, you have to cut it down, because the piece I showed you with the with the wheels at the 2 axles, the single piece, you have to have clearance. If you use the passenger car, you get clearance because of the frame of the passenger car. It gives you enough elevation that the wheels clear, and they're in those little squares there, little rectangles. So I put 2 lengths of the wood that I had, and if you go to the next one, you can still see the end piece over here. So now I've glued them on, and you can see how rough the wood is. Now I will now go over that with a little wire pencil and get those little burrs off of there. All right. So you can see right on to the right, the upper right, you see the wheels in the housing that I'm going to put on the bottom of this, and it'll roll real freely. But before I do that, go ahead and turn it over. Give me the next slide. Okay.
Oops. Next one.
Yeah, we'll come back to that one. So here's what I've done. You can see this one right here. It's all finished. And so you see the wood has been distressed. It looks pretty good. Pretty good there. Now, that was before I put the wheels under it, the frame. Go ahead and give me another one. We got a couple. Keep going. We got these out of order.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now, here's a guy. Well, I don't know if can we see these? I'm going to try to show the frame. We got it out of order here a little bit. Anyway,
I think that, yeah, that's all I've got.
Okay. Anyway, I ended up with 5 of these made. Well, it's pretty simple. I did try to stain the end pieces, the bulkheads, but didn't take. So I had to go and take the that wood, the simulated wood on the ends, and I put some Goo Gone on there, and it kind of melted that down, and then I could distress that. And so I got some other ones. I'll show that maybe on the 24th of next month for the my build. Now let's go back, and now we're going to talk about the keep going more. Another one. Okay. Yes, Carroll Creek sent me a diesel with an open cab. I had a Lionel Zoo Train I was going to get to my grandkids, but you know, I wasn't going to give up that for them. So, and that's what it looked like when it was in the box. So I took it out of the box. It has sound. And I said, you know, this thing looks pretty close to this G scale. And it actually works out to be 132, which is a G scale. But there are 3 or 4 scales in G scale, 129, 132, 122 and a half, and 124 is all considered G scale. The common thing there is they all run on 45 millimeter track. So that's where that started out. Now, what I did on this, I took all the running boards off. I cut them off. All that was left was the cab, the diesel motor, and the rear end. Okay, so go ahead. Here's one that I had done before, that when I was going to do 3/8 and 40, which was 3/8 running on O scale track. I had it weathered and everything, and had it, and just lost interest, and so I put it up on the shelf. Same locomotive. Only difference is going to be the chassis is going to be different. You can see this locomotive has all the running boards on it and everything. But here it is on my big layout with this locomotive and the 2 cars. And of course, I like to do, you know, DLIR, which is, does it look right? And I think it does look right when you put them together. That's an O scale figure there. But okay. So I'll be converting that one as soon as I get another drive unit. Okay, go ahead, next one. So here's a comparison. You can see they sit, other than the cabs, which can be changed, they sit almost perfect. They're almost the same. Now, the Lionel has sound, it has lights, and it's got a guy talking. So I like that. So what I did was, I was sitting there one day and I said, you know, I think this thing will run on battery. I'm going to hook up a battery and see what happens. Well, I hooked up a battery and the thing ran. So obviously I'm a battery guy. So I hooked everything up. If you next slide.
As the fusion glow disappeared into the blackness beyond.
After I took off what I didn't want, and you can see it sitting on the chassis, the black part, and it's all painted. It's got the car, and so it's got a 122.5 guy sitting there. He's too big. I've got 132 guys. So go ahead on. You can see it sitting on the railroad. Looks perfectly natural. You know, code 100 under G scale is a pretty small rail. Okay, next one. Now we're back to a couple of guys. Now here it is. It's going to be. You're going to hear this. So it's got the sound. Now I can turn the motor off, the motor sound off, and just have the whistle and the horn, which I like. You can see the light is still covered up there, but the lights, it's got headlight and a backup light. This is all wired directly through the Lionel system, the Lion Chief. So it runs pretty slow. It got pretty good control on that. And you will see, I believe I laid down the controller, which is still in that purple and violet and all that other kind of kids' colors. I'll probably just leave that there. So the switch you see there is to turn off the motor sound, but it has no effect on the bell or the horn or the guy talking. We have any more?
No, that's it for your slides, but I did bring up a couple of what's on my layout when you want to get to that part.
Okay,
Want to do it now?
sure.
Okay. So I found this site on eBay, or a seller on eBay, called EweGwe, and it's all spelled with a whole lot of E's. And he sells 3D printed detail parts in O, HO, and N, but primarily HO. And I needed some more detail parts for these clinics I put on about painting with pastels. So I went ahead and ordered for 16 bucks. I got all this stuff, which is primarily rooftop ducting kit, but it also has lots of other details. It comes really well packaged. Everything's wrapped in saran wrap and it's on its supports. This is all the parts once I cut them all out and clean them up. Most of the pieces you see here that look kind of odd, like this, that's the rooftop ducting, but you get all kinds of other details, barrels and crates and air conditioners and smokestacks and benches, rooftop air conditioning systems, ice machines, all kinds of stuff. And he has some smaller lots of just barrels for a couple of bucks, or just air conditioners, or all kinds of stuff. But I put together a little short video about him and what I had got on my YouTube channel, Greg Cassidy's Workshop. But if you go to eBay and search EweGwe, it's an odd spelling, but it'll probably come up. It's just incredible value for what you get. And I thought, just since Tom had showed his outhouses, I also threw these in. This was a two-seater privy that I built a couple of years ago from a company called GC Laser. And I actually needed it because I have a diorama with a station that was up until the 1950s didn't have indoor plumbing, and my diorama is set in the 40s, so I needed something there, and that's roughly where they had a privy. It wasn't exactly like that, but that was a good representation of it. Okay, that's it.
Greg, I have a question for you.
Yes.
What kind of quantity did they have packaged when you bought a package of them? What kind of quantity? Was it 10 pieces?
It depends on what you're talking about. There was like one ice machine, but something like 25 air conditioners, and some. I didn't really count all the parts. I know there were about 30 little vent fans that you can put in windows. Probably about 20 to 30 pieces of rooftop ducting, plus a bunch of elbow bends and stuff like that. There were, golly, maybe 30 different types of smokestacks, plus some masonry ones, maybe about 10 to 12 of those, and some other odds and ends too. But if you, I'll type the name in the chat so that people will be able to copy that. And if you go to eBay and look for this company, you'll see all kinds of stuff. I already had 4 replies on the video, and I just put it up yesterday from people who said they've ordered from him.
Yeah, Steve, I was about to tell you, I know him very, very well. That is who I got and still do all of my in-scale roof detail parts from. He will, if you want a specific thing where I wanted a whole lot of just the air conditioners, he printed those up for me and gave me a deal on just one single part. So even though he will ship you, you know, kind of grab bags of all kinds of things, if you wanted just barrels or just this or just that, he will He will do that. And if also you see on his eBay site the O scale roof corbels, that was actually what he and I designed for Howard Zane, and is what Howard is using on each and every one of his O scale buildings right now from that same guy. He's wonderful.
Wow. Well, can you give us any idea of a price for some of his stuff?
Cheap.
Cheap. Okay. I like that. I mean, I'm a budget model railroader myself, and I know, Doc, you are.
Yeah,
Yeah,
some of his collections, if you just want maybe 10 of something, it could be $2 or $3.
Yeah. Yeah.
Price does go down the more you purchase.
Yep.
And like I said, if you send him a message and say, "Hey, I want to buy 100 of these," he's very, very fair.
Okay. Very good. Very good. By the way, anybody who wants to see a very nice GN15 layout on YouTube, a gentleman by the name of Bob Roget has what he calls a low cost layout where all the buildings are made with cardboard and paper. All the engines are kit bashes. Very nicely done. All the cars are balsa wood. Bob Roget, Roegge is the last name. If you look it up on YouTube, he's got a nice video. Anyone else doing anything on the workbench?
Surely somebody does.
Bill Davis, you're not doing anything on your workbench? Are you still here? On the Bill.
I'm still here. Yeah, I don't have anything that I can show off at the moment right now, but yeah, I just picked up a kit from Jim King on building a Seaboard B7 turtleback boxcar, which is all 3D printed, the whole thing. So I haven't started working on that yet, but that's the most recent thing I've got going on. And
Okay.
things. But, other than that, and I've been converting a HO scale station kit from Walthers at the Milwaukee station into a sort of model of the Mount Royal station in Baltimore, Maryland, for my friend down the road here that's an HO modeler. So,
Have you started that kit?
yeah, I've modified it quite a bit already, but I don't have any pictures of it available right now. I just wasn't realizing this was going to be on here, and I would have pictures available to show off what I've done so far. But it's a total different look on the thing. The actual station that is stone and this one's brick, but my friend just wants the feel of the thing, so I'm putting the tower and the hip roofs and stuff like this that are different from the kit. So
You got a picture of it available?
Gee, let
Or
me
not?
see.
You don't. I mean, if you don't,
From here, I can't do it from here right now.
okay.
Let
All
me
right.
see. Wait, hold it. Maybe I have it on my phone here. Hang on, just 1 second here.
I always like to see when you talk about a kit, what
Yeah. Okay. Let's see.
And will you build it as the kit is, or you?
Oh no! It's modified heavily. Let's see. That's not going to work. No, I don't have that going.
No. Okay. All right.
I can maybe do that next week. We'll see. I'll maybe put a picture or two up of it. Like I said, I wasn't prepared for this.
Well, always be prepared when you come on, because
You never know.
you absolutely do not.
Right.
Your interest may be piqued,
That's
a little
right.
bit.
That's right. Right.
But
I've got a project coming up I've been talking about with Bill about across the road from me where I work. There's a shotgun house, and it's pristine, but when I get done with building a model of it, it will not be a pristine model.
okay.
So that's coming up as a build along.
I've been getting a lot of things on YouTube about locations of caboose B&Bs, where you stay in cabooses.
Yeah.
I'm getting them, at least one a day now, so they must be all over the country with these things. I stayed in one in Pennsylvania many years ago.
When my wife and I was traveling the country, we were in Dunsmuir, California, and in Dunsmuir they have a hotel type of thing where they have nothing but cabooses, and they're all like where you stay in the caboose.
Yeah,
We didn't do it, but they had it all there, and
yeah, I know.
And a really nice Willamette too.
Steve Vinegar's looking for a caboose right now to put one in town here. They want to do that. It's kind of interesting to stay in one. But when you think about, a lot of the cabooses were what, 34 feet long?
Something like that. You mentioned
And
what kind of weather.
if you're sitting in your family room, and my family room is 20 feet long, I'm thinking, my gosh, this thing is, a pretty good living in a 34-foot area. But yeah.
My town several years ago bought a caboose from a guy in South Carolina who had it set up for a fishing cabin on a lake,
Yeah.
and he passed away, and so they sold it to us, and we restored it back to what it was like when the North Fork Southern owned it and stuff like this. I spent about 4 years doing the interior of it.
Oh, wow.
I'm
4
a
years?
retired, yeah, I'm a retired carpenter, and so we spent about. I didn't do it full time, but yeah. So
I like that diesel in your background there. That looks like a GN15 potential.
no, yeah, it is potential. It's a Plymouth, but yeah,
Yeah.
and stuff.
Wow.
So anyway, Steve, that's what I've got going on.
Okay, we got anybody else that wants to discuss what's on your workbench? How about train shows? Anybody got a train show this weekend? We're coming up in the train show season.
Yeah, we have a train show in Woodstock, Ontario,
Oh, yeah.
this coming Sunday.
Show the picture again. We don't have the picture on.
Who was that? Yeah, that was kind of cool.
We don't have the picture.
David
Show
Malotz. David's showing a picture of his trees
Oh,
in a building.
Am I showing up?
Yeah, you're showing up. Yeah, there you are.
Okay.
Nice
So,
job on the building and trees.
I don't have anything on my workbench, but this is a module, a river scene Florida river scene that I'm in the process of building.
Wow.
Yeah, cool.
Wow. What are those trees? Are those castings or something?
I made them out of wire, house wire, and then I put basically body filler over top of them, and took a rough sandpaper 40 grit and a wire brush and just brushed them to do that. And then I'm going to make wire branches separately to and drill them and put them in.
Is that gonna be a swamp scene?
Yes, exactly.
Pumpkin stems gave you a very nice base for that tree trunk.
Yeah,
And
hadn't
just
thought about that.
very nice. You can pick them up any place that's selling pumpkins for Halloween. Just go and get them. Pick them up.
So this building, maybe I'll do my build on this. This is one that a buddy of mine had, and it was painted all brown. He passed away, and I ended up with it.
Wow.
Didn't like it, so I took these are stir sticks that I took Indian ink and alcohol and stained them, and put on here, and took 80 grit and kind of feathered them out for the weathering, so all the doors open and close on it.
What size is the module?
I like that.
8 foot by 32, I think is what it is. Yeah. Most of their modules are only 6 feet, but I want to have plenty of room to do something. Yeah. So anyway,
Now, is that a part of a club?
yeah, I'm with the Modular Club. We meet at the Volusia County Fairgrounds in outside of DeLand, Florida.
Mhm.
4 times a year, every 3 months. The club is actually out of Jacksonville. They have an HO club up there, First Coast Model Railroad, and then they have a modular ON30 group, and they come down here to DeLand to put up, and I ran into them. I'm the only one in this area, so I hook up with them when they come down here.
Wow.
Yeah, usually I'll go up there. And we'll have 75 by 20, sometimes much bigger than that. And we'll run anywhere from 2 to 7 trains at a time. It's all
Wow.
ECC except for me. I'm doing Blue Nami. I'm converting some of the other guys now into Blue Nami. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I wanted to show. I happen to have the same figure. If you can show me, I got a 132 and an O scale figure. You can see the difference in the size between the two. I don't know if you can see it. I can't see it.
You're off screen.
Yeah, they're not in front of your camera, Steve.
Move it over to your left a little bit.
In front of your face a little bit. There you go. A little lower, lower.
See, I don't see me on the camera, so
There it is.
same guy, quite a bit bigger.
How many of you guys are familiar with Ian Fangers from Australia?
I am.
You are, I know. Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think all of us that were up at Harrisburg are.
Yeah.
He was on this program once before, Tom.
Yeah, okay. Well, I just ordered 12 and received them, 12 figures in O scale from him. They're each
Oh,
one
wow.
a fine piece of artwork. I mean, they're absolutely stunning.
He's a tremendous artist too. He's not only painting figures.
Yeah,
He does paintings. I mean, he's a he was highly educated for that.
we ought to
Went
get
to art school.
fitting him back in the show.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be real nice. I like that.
All
So
right.
anyway, that little venture to GN15, I'm interested. Here's one of the cars that was completely finished. I don't know what you can see because I can't see me. That's one that's finished and stained and all that kind of stuff. Look better than just a stock one.
Very nice.
Anyway,
Stu here. I just emailed you some pictures. I don't know if it's something you can do tonight or just another night. It's of HO
I saw-
sawmill interior parts.
Yeah, I saw them. I thought maybe I'd contact you and maybe we could do a little segment on that maybe as early as next week or two.
yeah.
We're about the end of the night here.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll be calling you, or Phil, our producer, will be calling you, but I'll be happy to put together a PowerPoint on those. That sawmill is what I saw, yeah? I think it was a sawmill.
Yeah. And I can also include pictures of the whole layout. I don't know if any of you know of Bob's Photo. He supplies old black and white pictures of everything. He does a lot of the train shows around the country, or he used to. But he's doing a layout of a sawmill in paper mill in New Hampshire, and I built a lot of the buildings for him.
Oh,
And
wow.
scratch built. It's a pretty awesome layout, and he's just sent me some pictures. He doesn't do internet at all, but he told me I can go ahead and show off his stuff for him.
Maybe you're around tomorrow, I'll give you a buzz. Or Friday.
One of the let's see.
Just email me with
Yeah.
when you're
Okay, so do.
talk. I'm pretty free the next 2 days. I've been traveling pretty extensively the last 3 weeks, but I'm back in Indiana. Well, okay. Thank you, Mr. Sherrill. Spectacular job as usual.